Ombres are always hot, and here are two looks that Greg's gonna show you summer vibe right now.
A couple weeks ago, we dropped a couple of new surprise colors, strawberry slushy and orange burst. I'm gonna show you how to take those two colors and ombre them with cover pink. Okay, so what I wanna do is I wanna just gently prepare the surface of the nail trainer fingers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lightly feather the shine away. And again, I want to make sure that I'm working in one direction so that the barrel doesn't slip. All I want to be able to do, again, is use a very, very gentle feathering motion to get all of the shine away on the whole entire surface. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to use swipe, and what we're going to do is we're going to dust off all the oils and contaminants from the surface. What this is going to do is dehydrate the surface of the nail and prepare it for protein bond application. It's really important when you're preparing for an acrylic application that you apply 2 coats of protein bond. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna apply 1 coat on all 10 fingers, assuming that we're doing all 10 fingers. And as soon as I'm done doing all 10 fingers, I'm gonna go back and apply 1 more time. All right, they are prepped and ready to go. So the really cool thing about these colors is how easy they are to apply. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a form, and we're going to do this 1 finger at a time so that you guys can see in detail how it works. So once I have the form on the nail, I'm going to take orange burst and I'm going to build this not just flush to the natural nail, but I'm going to actually build it like I'm actually doing a fade on the natural nail. As you can see, I like to put the color on top of my mix. That way I can show my customer what it looks like. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna submerge my brush and I'm going to get a really, really nice bead by bouncing into the surface. I'm gonna hold it upside down, give it a couple of seconds. I'm going to turn my brush up and you're going to notice where I'm going to set that. I'm gonna set that onto the nail. Notice how I take the tip of my brush and I'm actually going to kind of work it up into the body, kind of creating a natural fade. Notice how most of the bulk is right here. Then I can use the body to kind of stretch it out. You have plenty of time to work the thickness out to the desired length you decide to sculpt at. What I'm going to do again is I'm going to bring it all the way down. We're going to try to build out a really, really nice coffin shape. All right, so once we've established the length, notice again, right up here on the top, I'm using the body of my brush and I'm just kind of lightly pushing it up, trying to keep it nice and flush to the nail, but you can see that it's more than halfway up onto the bed of the nail. Okay, now what we want to be able to do is take cover pink, and this is really important to understand. When you're actually doing the overlay, I want to try to bring a majority of the bulk over the line right here before I start to feather it into the body. I'm going to submerge my brush. I'm going to bounce, 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 bounce. You can see I have a really, really nice bead. I'm going to set that right to the cuticle area. I'm immediately going to get behind and get that as tight as I can, right? Before I actually start to feather it into the body. Notice how I keep a majority of the thickness all the way through the stress area. Okay, now you can see as I pull it all the way through how flat it is right here. So what I'm going to do is take just a hair more of orange burst. I'm going to set it to the front, and all I want to be able to do is just kind of lightly pull. You can see how I'm lightly feathering all the way up and into the cover pink, right? So you can see it's just a nice slight fade. Once we have achieved that level of perfection, I'm going to cap the tip with speed clear. I'm going to get a really, really nice medium-sized bead. I'm going to set it right here. I'm going to blend it up. I'm going to use the body of my brush to walk it over the tip, and what this is going to do is not only going to cap the color, it's going to fill the space necessary so that when I file it, I don't file away my design. All right, let's go ahead and get the form onto the second finger. All right, we're going to be using the same technique. I'm going to go ahead and get the form nice and tight underneath the free edge. So you can see the break. It's almost like a little bit of a step right here, right onto the nail form. Right. So to prevent the actual tip from separating and creating a line, I need to make sure that I pick up enough so that when I set it down, most of the bulk stays right here before I actually start to stretch it out to the length that I need. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take strawberry slushy, and again, notice how I submerge my brush, and what I wanna be able to do is bounce into the powder to get a large enough bead. Notice how I'm holding it up, giving it a chance to set. I'm gonna set it right here, the front end of the tip, and then immediately use the tip of my brush to start kind of poking it back, creating a really nice natural ombre. And then whatever excess is here, I'm going to use the body of my brush to stretch it out to the length desired. And you notice right here, you don't see the break between the enhancement and the natural nail. All right. Great way for you to do glitter fades. All right, now we want to be able to do the same thing. I'm going to show you the count that I use to pick up the right size pearl for this size length. I'm going to submerge my brush. I'm going to make sure that I have a lot of monomer. I'm going to barely tap it. Bounce, 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 bounce. It's almost a 4 count. 2, 3, 4, almost at 5 seconds. I'm going to set this down. It gives me such a great consistency to work around the cuticle, making sure that most of the product runs down towards the front, and then I could start to brush it over so that it blends right into strawberry slushy. All right, so what we want to be able to do, notice that I'm using the body of my brush and I'm kind of working out the thickness back into the stress area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more product, and what we're going to do is right here, I'm just going to lightly kind of fade this into the body, and then whatever excess I have, I'm going to use that over the tip. So it actually looks like there's glitter shooting up into the cover pink. Just making sure that I have enough product at the tip. And we're going to do the same exact thing. If there is any area that's flat, what we're going to do is we're going to use Speed Clear or your Core Clear. I'm going to set this right here, pull back, and then I'm going to use the body of my brush and I'm going to work it over to not only cap the glitter, but to fill in the space. All right. We're going to let this dry, file this into shape, and you guys will see what it looks like when it's done.
Thank you so much for watching our nail videos. To check out more, head right over here, and to subscribe to our channel, click right over here.